Mr. President, I hope we can let bygones be bygones. And, Mr. President, I just want to assure you that Mitch McConnell will never say a bad word about you or your family or anyone associated with the orange menace that people call Trump. Mr. President, as my honorable Kentuckians, people in Kentucky, and they're referred to commonly as Kentuckians. No, Kentuckians. As my fellow Kentuckians have told me, they love you, Mr. President. And please forgive me. Please forgive me for all the horrible things I said to you and for being silent when the mother probe was trying to set you up and frame you. And for not helping you when you needed help the most. And for stabbing you in the rear end numerous times. Mitch McConnell out. I beg your forgiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, The Hill, McConnell seeks to end feud. This is just an hour ago. This is fantastic news. You should be happy. You shouldn't say, ladies and gentlemen, you shouldn't say, well, you know, I don't trust him. I don't trust Nikki Haley. I don't trust McConnell. I don't trust this person, that person. I do not want a traditional Republican foreign policy. It was President Trump who negotiated a deal to get us out of our longest-running military intervention, May 1st, 2021. That's one of the reasons I love Trump. There are missteps that he's made, like any president. But there are wonderful things that he did, especially in terms of foreign policy. Abraham Accords. I mean, we can go on forever. First president to step foot in North Korea to begin détente between North and South Korea, President Moon Jae-in told the Biden administration he wants to continue Trump's foreign policy. And years back, he stated that Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. President Trump stopped covert arms deals to numerous places. We can get into... I could just speak endlessly about the fact that he saved this country from a hawkish 4 years of Clinton. So when you get these vote blue no matter who, it could be like different shades or different ideological categories of socialism or left-leaning ideologies. They're all vote blue no matter who. It doesn't matter if you're a communist, a literal communist, or you have a Che Guevara shirt that you bought from Walmart and you have a hammer and sickle on your Twitter profile. I do not have Twitter. I haven't had Twitter for 3 years. Get off Twitter. It's the worst cyber alternate reality known to man. It really doesn't matter. If you vote blue no matter who, your mindset is, well, it's the lesser of two horrible decisions. No, it's not. The Democratic Party is not the lesser of the two horrible or, evils. It is worse in many respects, especially in terms of foreign policy. It's more militant, hawkish. The Lincoln Project people were embedded within the Democratic Party. These are the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people. Anyway, why am I getting into this? Because hit subscribe to this channel right now. There's a method to the madness. If you want to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, The Daily Caller, The Times of Israel, go to hagoodman.com. You can see my debates there as well. If you want to support my voice long-term, my Patreon is below. President Trump got us out of never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. He set the stage. He worked very hard to get us out of those conflicts. Now Biden stated, okay, well, September, we'll wait till September. Again, Mitch McConnell, Ben Sasse, Mitt Romney, Cheney, never-Trumpers wouldn't have achieved the foreign policy achievements of Trump. That's one of the reasons he's very unique. He's not a quote-unquote Republican. That's why Republicans joined with Democrats to investigate him. I understand this. I understand when I said, hey, Nikki Haley wants to build a bridge with Trump. Now Mitch McConnell is begging, Trump, embrace my hand. No, let me take my hand in a show of friendship, and I promise you, I'll be devoted till your orange hair color turns white. I don't know what I'm losing it. But the point is, it's good, very good. You want McConnell. I'm trying to tell people. And I understand people say, I don't trust him, I don't trust this person. Even if Mitt Romney wants to align with President Trump, politics is about public relations. It's a game. A lot of it is a game that Trump, because he's unique, doesn't play. That's a good thing about President Trump, but it's also something that he doesn't understand. Like, if you are an actor in Hollywood, you have to read from a script. You have to perform at least some of the time. Nowadays, they're just, give their political opinions. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're a business person, you work to make money, build hotels, build an empire in whatever industry, tech, whatever. If you're in Hollywood, make sure you make good movies. If you're in politics, make sure you play the game of politics. That's all I'm saying. And President Trump, he didn't even have to really try hard. He won. He didn't even have to try hard in 2016, but he was a different person. He would deal with very petulant, apoplectic journalists in a calm, deliberate, focused manner in 2015 and 2016. He even had dinner with Mitt Romney, Mittens. He had to build some kind of coalition, so he picked Pence. Okay? And you say, well, he wasn't loyal. That person, none of them are going to be loyal if there's nothing in it for them. So he has to form some kind of political alliances within the Republican Party. If the Republican Party doesn't like him, then they're going to join forces with the Democratic Party to undermine him, to lose the Senate, because that was McConnell's fault. You don't negotiate down when people have lost their jobs because you didn't offer an alternative. Republicans said, oh, you want to tank every economy? No problem. You want to tank all your state economies? No problem. They tanked economies because of science. People were out of work. Millions were out of work. And the Democratic-run states that tanked their economies have the worst outcomes. Go look at the New York Times statistics. So I don't know how it helped them. The states that were the least draconian, and the countries in the world that were the least draconian, Sweden as an example, did far better than Spain, UK, Italy, France. So, having this draconian, response to the pandemic did not help. But anyway, look at the numbers. The numbers, it's interesting because the aggregate numbers tell a far different story from what you've heard. The New York Times aggregate numbers, 7 of the top 11 states with the greatest number of lives lost are Democratic-run states with the most heavy-handed responses. Anyway, it's not Trump's fault that the economy tanked. If you believe it's all Trump, you're just an ideological imbecile, and you don't look at any of the numbers, and you'll believe anything, as long as it suits you politically. It has nothing to do with morality. You just will believe anything. You have zero critical thinking skills if you just blame Trump, and don't blame people like Andrew Cuomo, who put infected people in elderly care facilities, and 15,000 lives were lost. What I'm trying to say is, here's an article. You can read it. McConnell seeks to end feud with Trump. The Hill. It's a good thing. President Trump, there's a limit to simply saying that somebody's a dumb, SO, whatever, and, this person stinks, he's horrible. There's a limit. There's a limit to the utility that you're going to derive from that kind of thing. There's a limit to, it might have worked 4 years ago, but it's not going to work now. That type of thing is not going to work now. So you have to build alliances. If you want to say coalition or bridges or whatever, you have to build political, if you want to call them political friendships, whatever. Democrats run on they have a finely tuned political machine. So they don't need any incentive to all fall in line. They always fall in line. You never have a Susan Collins or Lisa Murkowski or Ben Sass or Mitt Romney or Kinzinger or Cheney. You don't have those. You don't have never Biden people. You have never Trump people. You never had never Clinton people. I mean, the only if you had somebody like Tulsi Gabbard who was able to think critically and was courageous and stood up to the Democratic Party, instantly Hillary Clinton says, "Oh yeah, she's a Russian operative." So I mean, that's the way they work is, you worked with Russia, or they're the demagogues. They're the ones who blame other countries for their failures. Unfortunately, that's more effective in this day and age, unfortunately, than just saying someone stinks and someone, they found a way to force everyone to fall in line. The Democratic Party. They have a finely tuned political machine since the days of Tammany Hall. People get favorable coverage. They have media on their side. Intelligence operatives look the other way. Eric Swalwell has a romantic relationship with a foreign intelligence operative. Richard Burr goes after Trump, and then he sells stocks right before the market tanks and the economy tanks. Feinstein does the same thing. So intelligence operatives, you better believe they'll go after Trump or anyone associated with Trump. But if it's an establishment Republican or Democrat, media, intelligence operatives, late night, you'll get hooked up with favorable coverage. The intel agencies will look the other way. So it's being loyal to the Democratic Party. There are benefits. You get the book deals. Okay. President Trump needs to find a way to make it, to give people incentive to back him up. And if McConnell wants to make up and let bygones be bygones or water under the bridge or whatever, President Trump should be open to it. And in 2022, he can do two things at once. He can try to bring in Republicans that didn't like him, while at the same time ensuring the House is run by Trump Republicans, like Jim Jordan and Doug Collins, people like Ron DeSantis. Devin Nunes is amazing. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. McConnell wants to make amends with Trump, which is hilarious and interesting and a good thing for President Trump. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.